You ever made awesome maple syrup before, and then later you're digging through your cupboards trying to find that last stashed bottle, and you see that there's a little bit of niter or sugar sand in the bottom of your bottle? I'm going to show you how to get rid of it. Taking this niter out of the maple syrup is actually a pretty easy process. We're going to grab a stock pot here. Any stock pot will do. I like to use a stainless steel one if possible. It just kind of helps with the sterilization, helps with cleanup too. We're going to get that on our burner right here. We're going to take our jars of maple syrup that's got the niter in them. We're going to pour them into this stock pot here. What we want to be sure of is to not pour the niter back into the pan. So we want to be real careful. We can't just dump this in there like it's a 2 liter of pop or something. Good seal. See, most of that niter sticks right to the bottom. When you get down closer to the end, it's going to want to start coming out. Don't get greedy with this here. You are going to have a little bit of syrup loss. It's just kind of par for the course here. But if you get too greedy and try to dump all the syrup out, most of that niter that's in the bottom of the container right now is going to go back into the pan. You don't want that. We're going to continue emptying our containers in here. Carefully emptying our containers in here. We're just going to turn our burner on kind of low. We're going to get this heating up. We're going to start warming it up. It's going to take me a few minutes to get the bottles in there. You don't want to get this up too high, okay? Because the higher you get the temperature, if you go over 200 degrees, you're going to start introducing niter back into this syrup. And you don't want to do that. So we're going to get this to between 180 and 190. We don't want to go any higher than 190 at all. I'm going to show you an alternate way that you can do the same process at home. So with the niter, this is completely organic. It is fine to eat. There's nothing wrong with it at all. The only real reason I'm getting rid of it is because we have glass bottles, and that does not look appealing in a glass bottle. And we are actually going to be selling some of this for the holidays. So I don't personally like my product looking bad. But like I say, regardless, it is 100% organic. There's nothing wrong with it. I actually have customers that prefer me to sell them bottles with niter in them. They actually take, at the end of the bottle, once they get done with all the syrup, they'll take like a chopstick or something at the bottom of the bottle and bust up all the little crystals in there, and they actually use them in their coffee, on pancakes as well. It's kind of like a little treat. They're like little pieces of candy in there. So completely fine to eat. Some people like it, some people don't. So that's why we are doing this. So this is one reason why our competitors, I believe, produce their maple syrup in plastic bottles. If you have a plastic bottle that you can't see through, you don't know what you're getting. And that right there is probably what you're getting a lot of. So now that we got our syrup into our pan, we got our pan on pretty low. We don't want to crank this up too hot. We don't want to scorch anything on the bottom. And we don't want it to get real hot real fast and get out of control on us. So I just got a temperature probe here. I'll link this down in the description. I use this for a lot of different things. It's really handy to have. And we're just going to put this on the side here. And we're going to let that go just like that. While this is heating up right now, we are going to monitor this throughout. We do not want this to get too hot. I cannot express how important it is not to get this too hot right now. While this is warming up, we're going to get our bottles ready, and we are going to get the next step ready as well. Let's go see what that is. Getting there. We're about 135 right now. I just want to tell you guys, one thing that you can do is get yourself an Oron filter like this. One of these on Amazon runs about 20-25 bucks. This is what we started filtering our maple syrup with, and it does excellent. This is the same style of filter, the same material you're going to get in some of your higher priced filters. So one way to filter out your niter when you're reheating this stuff is use an Oron filter just like this. You will have to find something to suspend it from. So we just had some like sticks we put in here in the loops of the Oron filter, suspended it up high, and pour your hot liquid inside the filter, and then make sure you got a pretty good sized pan underneath of it to catch your hot liquid coming out. The downfall of an Oron filter like this is by the time you get all of your hot liquid through the filter, it usually cools off quite a bit. So you sometimes have to then reheat that before you can bottle it. You want to be bottling it between 180 and 190. That's what we're doing right out of our system over here. So this is how we're going to be doing this today, is we're using our filter press. You guys have seen this in many videos, I know. I'm not going to show you the ins and outs of how to set all this up and run it, but this is what we're going to use. And this has a pre-filter, and then it has an Oron filter, just like the material with the separate Oron filter I just showed you. So we're going to put this in here, boom, boom, and then we're going to go check our syrup here, Candace. Let's see where we're at. Yeah, we're about 140 right now, so we're getting real close. This does not take long to heat up. Really got to keep an eye on that syrup. We do not want to get that too hot. We're right at about 185, 186. We're shutting the heat down. Pull this probe out real quick. We're going to run this through our filter press real quick. This is kind of a quick operation. Candace is going to film. I'm going to run the filter press, and we're going to get this filtered out, no DE, just straight pre-filter and Oron filter, and that's it. We're going to get this filtered and bottled up. You might not even have to turn on the vacuum. You want to just for kicks?
Yeah, you want me to turn it on?
That was so hot that it actually just kind of like went through the filter. I didn't even really have to turn much vacuum on at all. We're going to start bottling this. I got my gloves on. I got my funnel. I got my bottles. And we're going to start filling these bottles up carefully. We're going to need a mop. It's been about 10 months since I bottled any syrup, so I'm a little out of practice, and I actually just spilt about a teaspoon on the floor. What I normally do, set these right here. Candace is going to come by, put the cap on for me. I'm going to continue filling bottles.
After you bottle them and put the caps on, you have to lay them down, and then the heat from the syrup kind of kills any bacteria that might be in the cap, which there shouldn't be, but it's just for safety measures.
If you guys want to see how we make our maple syrup, check out some of these videos here. We'll catch you on the next one.